10 hot.
Hey everybody, it's Heartless Spartan. Today I have the DID 6 scale General George Smith Patton Jr. figure. I've spent the last few days sick, but I've been working on getting back into doing videos so I can get this out for everyone on Veterans Day. Now, I'll be presenting a combination of two sets throughout this video. The main set is that of the figure itself, and the other is the accessory kit of General Patton. Each of these is sold separately, and I ordered them from a couple different places because the pre-orders weren't posted at the same time, but they do go together. I apologize ahead of time. I've been working with limited space, and my camera hasn't been the most cooperative as I've been figuring some things out with it. Opening up the main figures box, we get the magnetic double-sided lid that has a modern American flag display on the opposite side. Just inside is a cover with basic figure body instructions on the back side. Then we have General Patton and several of his helmets and accessories, including his World War II garrison cap, two helmets, one being an M1 with a polished liner tucked inside, goggles, white-handled 357 Magnum and M1873 revolvers, M15A1 binoculars, and Patton's horsewhip. Tucked in with Patton, we got the double-sided adhesive and various stars and patches, including a U.S. Army Central patch, 2nd Corps shoulder patch, 7th Army patch, and a 1st Armored Division patch. Lifting out that layer quite awkwardly, we have the DID ribbon to help remove the prior foam insert. We get his Ike jacket, leather gun belt with two holsters, a bullet belt, a compass pouch, and an additional leather pouch. At the bottom, there's alternate hands and a M1 helmet strap. That's the last layer. I'm going to throw in a quick repack before moving on. Next, we have the accessory kit. In the kit, we get Patton's pet bull terrier Willie Patton, a Patton nameplate for the base, 3 additional magnetic stars, and an alternate head sculpt of George C. Scott to swap historical Patton with the movie Patton. Then we have a World War II U.S. bomber jacket, the black base, and additional stars and patches, including another 1st Armored Division patch and United States Army Central patch. Since I was a kid, I always wanted a General Patton figure. I used to go into Walmart and they would have a whole aisle stocked with G.I. Joe and Soldiers of the World figures. I remember Soldiers of the World had come out with a Patton figure that came, if I remember right, he came with his bomber jacket, dual revolvers, and his dog, which was just perfect for a kid at the time, but I never afforded it before the brand disappeared. So I'm quite excited to have such a detailed figure of Patton as an adult. The only issue I have is that when they packed it, they bent his boot straps backwards, so now they stick out too far. I may have to wrap them for a while so they're not so bad. Otherwise, I'm very happy with this. However, there was some assembly required. All of the patches and stars need to be put on. The patches are nice and easy. They have adhesive backs that stick right on, but I'll talk about the stars in a minute. I have to point out before I forget, he did not come with the flag in the background. I bought that separately to do the video, but there is an inaccuracy. Those are both modern flags with 50 states. The other is the backside of Patton's box cover. I'm not upset by that. They gave us something, but an accurate version would be 6 rows of 8 stars totaling 48 stars, since Alaska and Hawaii weren't states yet. I needed something close and quick to do the video, though. Taking a look at what else we get in the set, we have 4 of Patton's rings and the M1 helmet and liner. If we look at the helmet liner, just as in real life, this is what Patton polished and wore. It was actually the helmet liner, or inner with the webbing. It fits into the helmet, but be careful because it can shift the stars glued onto the liner. As I said before, all the stars need to be put on by hand using the double-sided adhesive. Don't do what I did with this helmet. I used super glue on it knowing full well what would happen and regretted it anyways. There's always hard lessons to be learned. Anytime I've used super glue on this kind of stuff, it is always too much, no matter how little I use. It creates a dark color that shines when it soaks in or smudges. Don't use super glue. Just deal with the adhesive. Plus, you can always add or remove stars with the adhesive. But everything that has little stars on it, I had to cut double-sided adhesive, which comes included with the set, and stick them on. Maybe I can link a recording of me doing that in the description. Here we have the actor's head sculpt of George C. Scott, which allows us to make the figure look like the Patton film version. We also have Patton's Bull Terrier Willie. It has minor ball joint articulation on the head and tail. The head is magnetically attached and allows it to swivel. His dog tags are also detailed with Willie Patton and ID numbers etched into it. Now, Willie is also packing a molded Willie, since dogs don't normally wear pants, so if that kind of thing makes you uncomfortable with figures of animals, then maybe just don't get the accessory kit or use it. The nameplate simply has adhesive on the back, and the magnetic stars can be used for the base so that they're interchangeable. The Ike jacket, like most things made by DID in my experience, is well made and has wire in the bottom to manually shape the bottom of the coat to look good on display. If the thing looks like it has pockets, it actually does have functional pockets. We've also got a set of goggles, but we also get these gloves on the bendy hands, which allows you to bend the fingers into a relatively believable position. At first I was bothered by the material the gloves are made of. I wanted more of the look like the bomber jacket. But it does make more sense since this material will bend and not flake apart. So I got over it rather quickly. Sometimes compromises have to be made when designing things in scale. Otherwise, they would have to make 2 additional sets of molded and painted gloved hands. The bendy hands I've gotten used to. I didn't like them at first, but they really help when you try to get the character to grip something like the horsewhip that just doesn't fit in the traditional weapon hands. Plus, if you have figures of Hitler or Stalin, you can pose Patton flipping them the bird. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead and start a montage of Patton in his various jackets and uniforms that come in combination with these sets. I hope you've enjoyed this figure review. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. Don't forget I also post updates and links to pre-orders on my Facebook. This has been Heartless Spartan. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.